My name is Briana Adams. I live in Garland, Texas. I'm like 3 or 4 minutes away from downtown Garland, so.
Do you have a favorite park or public space in Dallas? If so, what is it?
Yes, I love White Rock Lake, yeah, and like the area surrounding that, so.
Cool, and where in the city is that located?
So it's like pretty extensive, but so in between like Northwest Highway and then on the lower end, I just know it's like close to Northwest Highway,
yes.
So yeah.
All right, what do you like about this park or open space?
I think out of like all the parks in Dallas, it provides, maybe like aside from the Trinity Forest, it provides a like good amount of public space where you can really engage with nature. My dad used to take me like birding there when I was growing up, so I like never really realized we were living close to a big city because I always felt like super connected to like the natural landscape. So.
Very cool. And how would you describe this park to someone who's never been there before?
Oh man, gosh, it's such a mix of like so many different things. So great for like fishing, cycling. Basically, I guess the like center point is the giant lake. It also has like a wooded area where you can go trail running. There are like parks in the forest. There's a really great section where there are a lot of like urban, I think they're like parakeets. So you can like go to these like a power, I remember there's like lines and wires and they all like gather there and it's like a really surreal experience like in the middle of Dallas in this forest. But yeah, that's like, those are the things I remember about it. And I know that like the bikers and the joggers kind of have this like ongoing battle of like whose park it is because everyone really loves hanging out there, so.
Could you describe a memory of White Rock Lake?
Yes, okay, so when I was like in elementary school, my dad, he has a master's in field ecology, teaches like life sciences at a school in Addison. So he would wake me up like early in the mornings to go birding with him, which is I don't think like a pastime that many people have. But we would wake up at 6 or 7 in the morning and he would take me on the trails and he like taught me like, oh, like this is a snowy egret and this is a great blue heron. So I think that park was really critical for me to like have an appreciation of nature and like just taught me like the value of preserving public land so that other like children can have that experience too. So that's, I don't know, memories of my dad and I just waltzing through the forest and just like sharing cool finds with each other.
Very cool. And how could this park or open space be improved?
Okay, so I think since it is like a park where there are like runoff from White Rock Lake and like streams, I think maybe like so picking up trash like that can kind of like flood into the places where the water collects. I know like one time I went there and there was like a trash can like hanging out in the water. So I think just like making sure that it's like kept up and maintained. But besides that, like I think it's a perfect place. So.
And what makes this park
unique? Well, I think first of all, like preservation of like nature. Some parks, like you are in the park and you very much feel like you're still in Dallas. But I think like White Rock is one of those places where you can like be in the forest and it feels like you're a world away for a couple of seconds. Also like the lake, it's hard. You kind of have to drive a while to find like another lake, maybe like Lake Ray Hubbard or like Lake Louisville. So that's like another unique thing about it. Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Overall, what do you think of Dallas's parks and open spaces?
Okay. Well, as someone who lives in Garland, I can only appreciate the ones that I've actually been to. But I love Clyde Warren Park. Like, I think that was a great idea. Love White Rock Park. Yeah, I think there's like only good things to say about the ones that exist, and I just like wish that there would, people would create more of them. So, yeah.
What could be done to improve Dallas's parks?
I think maybe like connecting them with connecting them with existing transit and trying to figure out a way to like make them more accessible for everyone in the city. and also making sure that the quality of parks that are in some sections of the city are like is just as equivalent to the ones that are like in different parts. So like that can extend like maintenance and like signage and like accessibility. So yeah.
All right. What would be your ideal park?
Okay. Ideal park. So places where like community members can gather together, so like pavilions, benches, picnic tables, some type of like water feature, like a pond or a lake. Like part of it would be forested. Definitely like I would appreciate if part of it was like, felt like you were in nature. Because I think in the city, like nature is something that's really healing. I think like whenever I go into green space, it really like helps me to slow down and breathe and like relax and be still, which I think is hard to do sometimes. But also like walking trails, biking trails, and maybe even like I've been to some of those parks where they have like the workout sections. I don't know if that would be in my ideal park, but I think it's a cool way to connect like public health with like green spaces. So.
All right, last question.
Yes.
What are your hopes for the future of Dallas's parks?
That they would be like preserved and that they would just like the park. I mean, I think like the park board is probably already doing a great job like doing that and maintaining them, and especially like with financial concerns as well. But like I think my hope would just be that like taking advantage of public or private like parcels of land that are available and like either snatching those up and transforming them into more public spaces that the community can access, and also just like looking for ways to partner with public-private partnerships like in kind of the vein of Clyde Warren, but making those like very intentional and not just doing that to do it, but like make sure it's like a good idea. So yeah, I really hope that like the Trinity River Park finally like gets off the ground. I know that's been like I think like at least 70 years, I think maybe 90 years in the making. So like really hope that gets off the ground. Not super excited that a tollway is going to run through it. Super bummed about that. But yeah, that's my hope for the future of Dallas parks. So.